It is game week, and that's what's cooking on the day's Sports Stove Local Hour. We're talking Cincinnati, previewing the game, and we have a special guest lined up, Tennessee Titans safety Matthew Jackson. That's what's cooking on the day's Sports Stove Local Hour.
McKinney looks, steps into pocket, throws, open receiver, touchdown! Colonels, we're not done yet!
Our identity is we're going to press for 40 minutes, we're going to play up-tempo, we're going to play with unbelievable passion, and then our brand is the most exciting 40 minutes in sports.
Welcome in to an all-new edition of the Sports Stove Local Hour, presented by Mad Mushroom Pizza. And I said it in the intro, it's game week, and it's finally time to hit somebody you don't know. I'm your host, Ben Stover, joined by the one and only Ryan Jackson. Rhino, man, are you ready?
So excited. Like I said at the first episode, so excited, especially for this one. First time we get to hit somebody else, and it's against Cincinnati. Why not? I can't wait to play them.
Why not? I like that. A Big 12 opponent. This is their first year in the Big 12. I was reading some stuff on them this week, and the way that the one article was put was they were a Power 5 school in a G5 conference, and they were just waiting to get into that Power 5 conference, and they finally got there. I mean, they've been up there at the top rankings-wise for the last couple years. Last year, not so much, but previously, last year too, yeah. And so there is that mindset that, man, this team was ready for this move. But, man, their first game, and I was thinking about this, their first game as a Big 12 team is against Eastern Kentucky University. And I always think, man, if you're a smaller school playing a bigger school, it's always nice to kind of come in and sneak in under the radar and surprise them and all that kind of stuff. Well, these people are fired up because new coach, new conference, all this kind of stuff. There's going to be no sneaking in, I don't think, with Cincinnati, right?
But I mean, we're not trying to sneak in. Hopefully, we walk in and kick the door down. Honestly,
that's right. Ring the bell. EKU is here. That's the game plan for sure. I'm looking forward to the weekend. I'm planning on being there. I'm still trying to finalize some stuff for that, but they've been good and working with me on that, so hopefully that all gets taken care of. But nonetheless, plan to be there. I know there should be a good contingency up there from EKU, and again, having 2 weeks that are on the road, but not very much on the road. You guys will take about an hour and a half drive up to Cincinnati. You guys are staying the night in Cincinnati and making it a true road game in that sense. But it's definitely about that time, and I know everybody's excited to be there. Today in this episode, we're going to be previewing the game. We're going to be talking a lot about what's going on with Cincinnati and what's ahead for EKU as well. And I'm excited that we can talk about football games now that matter and can get into it. I watched a little bit of the Notre Dame Navy game this weekend just because it was real football and it was fun. It was nice to be on a Saturday on the couch, feet up, just kind of watching football. How is that different from, let's say, when you were in high school and you turn the game on to now where you're the one out there on the television?
It's surprisingly not as enjoyable anymore because in high school you would always dream of being there, dream of maybe someday I'll get up there. When you're in college, you kind of break film down a little bit more than what you think. So it's more, how did they do that? How did they scheme this up? Man, he could have played that better. So you more watch your position and you kind of see, man, what could you have done better? Or, man, he did something really cool right there. Maybe I should try that. I would say you watch it a little bit differently as you grow up, and especially in my case where I like studying other teams and I like seeing how other nose guards do stuff against different schemes. So it's a little different.
Have you ever know of the name Gilbert Brown?
No, sir.
Okay, so he's a nose tackle for Green Bay back in the 90s, with Reggie White and everybody back there, nicknamed the Grave Digger, which was a really cool nickname and a lot of fun to watch. But I'm a Packer fan, so maybe nobody else cares. But I loved Gilbert Brown. And the one thing I remember from him that I loved, it was in the Super Bowl, he was injured. And his grandma or his mom, I don't remember which one, told him, if I see you limping on the field, so he wouldn't limp while he was on the field. He'd wait till he got off the field and then he would limp and gut it out. But it shows you the mindset of a football player and how much they still respect their mothers, even as they grow old.
No, that's real. My mom still says to this day, if I ever get hurt, she's taking me off the field. There was actually a funny story. There was one game at I think it was Stephen F. Austin. I had gotten rolled up on a little bit or got like crushed, and I had got into the little injury tent. And next thing you know, I hear something. I don't really know what it is, but I can distinctly tell it's my mom's voice though. And I'm in the tent. I was like, y'all better hurry up. I don't know what's going on with me, but you should get me back out there before this lady tweaks out up in there. And all I remember telling her is, I can't talk to you right now. I can't talk because it's like the fourth quarter. And she's like, what do you mean you can't talk to me right now? And moms just don't understand sometimes, which I love my mom to death, and I would never want her to worry about me. But
yeah.
Sometimes you just can't talk.
You're gonna have a lot of people up there that you know at the game. I know your parents come to the games and things like that.
Yeah, my mom, my dad, my girlfriend, and her family are showing up. So I got some people. Yeah,
that's a lot of fun. I know we talked with who we talked with, Jonathan, last week, Duff, and he's gonna have he had 30 people looking for tickets, trying to find their way into the game. And I know now. Did you know that it's a whiteout? That's the plan. Everybody in Cincinnati is supposed to be wearing white.
Doesn't matter to me. Whatever we show up in.
To me, a 3:30 kickoff, whiteout, blackout, it doesn't matter. Like if it's night under the lights, that's one thing. It gets hype, whatever. But nonetheless, it's it'll be fun though. Either way, right? We talked about you playing the Big 12 school and that you from high school to college being ready, looking for that next level. Well, the next level from here is the NFL, professional football. And joining us now is our longtime friend. Hang on, let me make sure I push the right button. And current Tennessee Titan, Matthew Jackson. What's up, Matt?
How y'all doing?
Oh, man, I feel good.
How y'all doing? Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. Loud and clear. How y'all doing? What's up, Ryan? How you doing, Ryan?
What up, Matt?
Yeah.
Matt, I was just telling Ryan that in your time in Nashville with the Titans so far, you have been able to find the camera on a pretty regular basis, and Ryan was not surprised.
Yeah, that never stops. I mean, I always found the camera at Eastern Kentucky, so I mean that would never stop. I feel like I'll always be on the camera.
Well, how you liking things, man? I know it's been a ride, right?
Very, very different. I can say that now. I wish I could go up there back to EKU and talk about the experience and stuff like that to y'all young folks. And I could call y'all young folks now because what I've been through in the league. But it's just been an overwhelming experience, and I'm just taking it day by day. So it's been very good, though. Been very good.
Yeah, and I appreciate you joining us. I don't know how you're feeling right now. That in the NFL, they've got the cut downs coming down tomorrow. And it's probably been a long time since you've been in a spot where there's maybe some uncertainty. Is there uncertainty right now?
Well, I mean, there's always a little uncertainty because I mean you just know the business of the NFL. I mean, your job is up every week, so basically just knowing that, and then can't be too complacent with where you are and stuff like that. So you always got to keep going and keep driving and keep something in their tank to make sure that they know that you should be there for a reason. So that's what I strive to do.
Yeah, my dad wanted me to ask you about players for his fantasy football team. I'm not going to do that.
Can't do that. Can't do that.
Like, get the lowdown on Ryan Tannehill and DeAndre Hopkins. I said, no, Dad, we're not doing that tonight. Maybe someday, but not tonight. Yeah. So talk about what is different, right? What is different between your college experience to the NFL experience?
I could say probably the rules, like the amount of things that you can do, like in the game and in the scheme of football and stuff like that, it just changes and heightens a little bit. So just being so technical to the details of special teams and being technical to the details of like defense and stuff like that. You can't really give contact with a person past 5 yards. So just understanding the little details around that, and then knowing like, okay, what wide receivers do this, what refs call this and that, is probably the biggest differences and stuff.
Rhino, what you got for him?
I was gonna come close to saying, like, we had hard practices at Eastern. Are there hard practices in the NFL too?
Yeah. I mean, it's mainly off of your work ethic. How hard you push yourself in practice is probably going to be the difference between every level, in high school, in college, and in the league. Because if you're not pushing yourself to the fullest extent, then you won't ever acclimate like to the highest extent to your potential and stuff like that. So you got to push yourself for practice to feel tough, and on top of that, just the competition level also is going to be another thing too, because the competition is different from college and the league. So that's probably the biggest things right there.
Has there been a not necessarily starstruck moment, but a moment where you saw a guy like Derrick Henry, or you had to hit Derrick Henry or something like that, where you're like, all right, these dudes are big?
Yeah. It's more so putting the pads on.
Okay.
So seeing them like regular, you would just be like, okay, that's Derrick. Then once he puts on the pads, it's like, oh, that's not Derrick Henry. That's a Decepticon right there. That's a Transformer right there. It gets hyping. Like he is a humongous guy. Just seeing that, I sit by him every day in the team meeting room. So yeah, that is different right there.
Have the vets been good to you? I'm sure there's a little bit of you're the rookie, but at the same time, have they been helpful answering questions and things like that?
Yeah. So because we're all in this for one goal, to win Super Bowl and progress our lives and stuff like that. So they are definitely helping. KB and Monty, some of the vets, Aziz and Monty Rice. They always like tend to the young guys and kind of keep a cold shoulder and tell us like, hey, it's the league, so you got to pick it up and stuff like that. But also understanding that, okay, you do have to keep your mental straight, you do have to keep your body straight, and just knowing the details to keep those things at a float is key. So yeah.
Rhino, 3 minutes into this conversation, same old Matt Jackson or NFL Matt Jackson?
Nah, this dude's a little different. It's awesome. No, it's great to see Matt like this. We love Matt here. He was awesome for us, and it's great to see him keep progressing. It's great to see him still.
I got a couple questions now for the Colonels.
Yeah,
for Ryan. How is it now? Like, is it different? Is it? I know I can't like me being in the league, I can't give so much, just like you can't give so much, because I mean, I know y'all play Cincinnati and I don't want to talk about schemes and stuff like that, but I do want to know, like, how is it now? How is it?
The stuff still runs about the same. It's smooth though. The coaches give a little more, and it's all. It's cool to see. Like, I feel like we're finally at that spot where we all respect each other, and we're building. Y'all helped lay the groundwork for that. And that's respect, y'all. You and your whole class, y'all laid the groundwork for what we're building now, and it's a blessing, honestly. Thank you, because what y'all did was special, and it's time for us to progress that now.
Yeah, I like that.
Stay and watch, bro. I hope you watch, because we're watching you.
Yeah, I think we got this weekend off. I was gonna try to pitch up to little Cincy, Ohio, and try to be on the field. Wow. Might get a little mic. Try to call the plays.
Now, Matt, you know that Ryan is a captain.
Yes, I did see that. Congratulations.
Yeah. So he's filling in your role in some ways. I've been told by Ryan and by others, well, no one's going to fill Matt's complete role, but he's filling in. I know you're proud of the legacy you left behind at EKU. Talk a little bit about that idea of the pride that you take in not just why you're there, but what you leave behind when you do leave.
It brings chills to every day. Like it brings chills to just see like where EKU was when I was younger. Like to see myself in 2017 to where I am now, and then to know like what was the history of like the last time they've been to the playoffs to last year us going to the playoffs and just building that foundation and stuff like that. It brings chills because I'm like we were that close, but also what did I leave behind for Ryan Jackson, for Parker, for all the people that are still there, for them to understand, okay, like this was our leader, this what he would expect. Let's how do we hyphen that? How do we build from that? How do we build from the character and stuff like that? And then seeing how the coaches will react to having a new team. You know, the transfer portal is very, very thick. So I seen it's a lot of new faces. And I'm like, oh, well, how would they react to some of the old school ways that I instilled into them versus the new school because they're a younger team and a newer team and stuff like that? How does that mix? So it's been good to like see the transition of how EKU is forming and to still like see like EKU still got that run. They're still building for that run. So
they're building for sure. Let's go back to your preseason games. You tackled at least one tackle in every single game. What was the most memorable moment for you so far in the preseason games that you had?
Most memorable? They all pretty memorable because the first one in Chicago, I was born in Chicago. That was pretty good. Then Minnesota, that was pretty good being in that dome. But I'll probably have to give it to the Patriots one. I made a special teams play, and I just thought like that's just how my career started at Eastern Kentucky, like on special teams. So that really hit home to me when I made that special team play. I think I tackled them at like the 2-yard line. I played gunner and stuff like that, and I was just like, man, like. That's how it has to be. Like that's how my career has to start out. And I'm like, I like that. Like I like that feeling and stuff like that, and making that play and having my family there, and just doing it in front of the boys in the hometown. So yeah.
Special teams, a special player, the career starter. I like it. Rhino, what else you got for Matt?
I really just want to ask, and I need you to like tell people how important special teams really is, because like Matt legitimately made all his money, like big money, on special teams for 4 years straight, and people don't understand, especially young college kids don't understand how important special teams is and how it can really further your career. So please explain to them how.
If I had the chance to go back up there and talk to y'all about it, I'm not gonna lie, I probably would start there first. I'll probably start specifically right there on special teams. I mean, it doesn't matter how big you are, how fast you are, how strong you are. To get those details down and know how to be effective on special teams is at a premium. Like it is so key to just take a little time. It's not even a lot of time. It's not as much time that you will need for defense and offense, but it is at hiding like the details. So it's like the little things I remember in college, like how to block people inside out, how to put your hands inside out and stuff. It just takes your game to a different level. So I definitely would tell everybody, no matter if you're a freshman, no matter if you're a sophomore, no matter if you're a junior or senior, because I still played special teams when I was a senior. So no matter where you at in your career, there always is and forever will be a point of emphasis on special teams. And I advise every good young guy, I don't care where how many stars you had, I don't care where you at, how many All-American status you had or don't have, I don't care how big you are, how small you are, get on those special teams, because that will play a pivotal role in your career, no matter if it's you play 2 years in college and then go to the league, or you may play 1 year in college and you just ball on special teams. It will always be noticed. So that'll be my big advice. Don't sleep on special teams. I promise you.
Yeah, and you closed that so perfectly. It'll always be noticed. It is. I mean, when we've talked to the coaches and we brought you up with the defensive coaches, they brought up special teams. And obviously the scouts in the NFL, that's what they're looking for.
Yeah.
It's going to be noticed for sure. Who's the coolest non-Titan that you've met in your time so far in the NFL?
Non-Titan.
You guys had combo practices with the Patriots, right?
Yeah, we are. No, that got postponed because they had an injury to one of their teammates. But we did have with the Vikings though. We did have a week up there in the Vikings. You said interesting. Jake Jettis Justin Jefferson. He's pretty neat. He's pretty flashy. I like how he plays his style, stuff like that. I also have to give my boy Theo a shout out. He's from Nashville, and probably Joe Jawan. He's been in the league for a long time also. So those three guys right there are pretty interesting dudes.
And going to Minnesota in the summer is the best time to go to Minnesota.
Yes, it is. I'm glad we dodged that snow. That snow and that cold is crazy.
Yeah, definitely.
That is the land of the lakes. It was a lot of lakes there. And the Mall of America is the biggest mall in America. So I did get a chance to go up there to the mall. Not gonna lie, it is it's like 4 floors, and it goes all the way. Like it's a huge mall. Definitely got to get your water and you get some stuff for that.
Hydrated for the mall walk.
Yeah, you got.
I like it. Great.
They have actually roller coaster in there too. It's like an amusement park in there too. So yeah, it's pretty deep.
Have you ever seen Mighty Ducks?
Yes.
They filmed that, and they have a scene in the mall where they're skating in the mall and stuff like that. That's the Mall of America. So it takes you back to it. That was a long time ago, that movie.
Yeah, that was a long time
ago. All right, so what's next on the agenda for Matt Jackson?
Hey, it's cut day by tomorrow. I'm just taking that step by step and just gonna focus on the next. After that, what goes on? I mean, wherever life takes me, really. So, yeah. And that's kind of that mindset you have to have. But I'm just embracing the time that I have right now, being at the Titans and stuff like that. So that's what's good.
Awesome, man. Anything else, Ryan?
Yeah, I got one more. And
what's up? I love talking.
Because me and Matt had a running joke his whole time here, asking who was the better Jackson, and unfortunately, it was neither of us. So I have to ask Matt, how's your family, bro? How's your family? Oh, he done left us.
I'm sorry. Hello? I got you?
Yeah.
I'm back. You said, how's my family?
Yeah, bro.
They're doing well. I'm thankful that you asked me that, because I was wanted to know how your family was doing too, because I know my Dukes, she shows place there, and Coach Jackson. Yeah, I got shout out to him. But yeah, my family's doing well. My mom's doing well. My 2 daughters. I have another daughter now. So yeah, Summer and Winter Jackson. My dad's doing well. My brother just had his daughter too. So yeah, it's a full house right now. Pretty deep.
That's cool.
Summer and Winter Jackson. So we gotta have at least 2 more then, right?
The mom's name is Autumn. So we have Summer, Winter, Autumn.
Okay.
I don't think we don't need spring or anything like that. So they were good. They were good there.
Oh, Matt, it's always fun to talk to you, man. I'm so happy for you. It's been neat seeing this opportunity for you, and we're excited to see where it goes from here, whether it continues in Nashville or heads somewhere else. Either way, we're so excited for you. And like I said, you left a lot of good behind here in Richmond, and I think you're going to be proud of what Ryan and the team's doing in your footsteps. I think you're going to be proud of what they do this year as well. So
yes.
I know you're busy, and I know that I reached out kind of last minute yesterday and just see if you wanted to jump on. You were happy to do it, and I really do appreciate you for it.
I'll always, no matter what time it is, no matter where it is, I'll always be able to get on this podcast. I love the podcast, and I love what you're doing up there, supporting the Colonels and stuff like that, and I love what you do for EKU. So thank you for having me also.
Matt, yeah, you're always welcome, and I'm going to remember that if you ever big time me, I'm going to bring this clip back up and say, no, you told me. No, I'm just kidding, man. We're so happy for you. Good luck, man. Good luck today and tomorrow. And we're looking forward to see what happens in the days to come.
Yes, sir.
All right. That's Matt Jackson, Tennessee Titan. Matthew Jackson, former EKU linebacker, now Tennessee Titans safety. Awesome to spend some time with Matt. Ryan, I know you've talked a lot about Matt. How cool is it to see him where he is now?
It's awesome because honestly, I do miss that guy. And I said that guy's a little different. Matt Jackson will be Matt Jackson through and through, and that's my guy. That's my teammate. That'll always be my brother, and I can't wait to see him again. And I can't wait to meet the new little girl. I can't wait to see her too.
All right, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we are going to preview Cincinnati, game 1 of the EKU football season. Let's take a quick word from IPM Pest and Termite.
With over 20 years of experience, Matt Schaefer and the good folks at locally owned IPM Pest and Termite provides pest control service for all of Central Kentucky's pest control needs. Whether you have a current pest control problem or want to prevent infestation from ever entering your home, IPM Pest and Termite offers maintenance programs that will help keep pests out of your home and provide peace of mind. So for dependable, reliable services that you can count on, get in touch with our good friend Matt Schaefer at IPM Pest and Termite today at myipm.com. That's myipm.com.
Welcome back into the Sports Stove Local Hour presented by Mad Mushroom Pizza. And we just got done talking with Matthew Jackson. If you missed it, make sure when the show's done, you go back on YouTube or wherever you get your podcast. The Sports Stove podcast is available, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or anywhere. If you can't find it, let us know. We'll do our best to get it wherever you typically listen to podcasts. But make sure you listen to the whole interview. That really was a blast. Always love talking to Matt. He's always been a good interview, and appreciate his support of the show. All right, let's get into Cincinnati. We are here, week number 1. For the record, I will never ask Ryan to predict a game that he is playing in. I will never do that to him or to the listeners because we know the answer is, we're going to win 58-0. So I won't ever do that to Ryan. But we do want to get some ideas of what you're seeing, what you're preparing for to a degree. Now, Cincinnati has a new coach, Scott Satterfield. He was at Louisville last year and the past couple of years. He's been other places too. He's had a lot of success other places, not at Louisville. That being said, when you're watching film, are you watching Cincinnati or are you watching schemes from Satterfield and the other coaches?
Yeah, that's actually pretty interesting. When it comes to scouting a team that's getting a new coach, you obviously want to look at the film where the coach came from. So you want to get a scheme and you want to get a system. Maybe they do the same little things. Every team's going to have little nicks and tricks off of what they used to do. And then when you watch Cincinnati film, you need to watch more for personnel. Like you want to get the guys, you want to see how they play. You want to kind of see your matchups. And you want to see where you can exploit and win your one-on-ones there. Because they're the same players that's coming back, but new schemes. Yeah.
Now, you look at this Cincinnati offense, and it really isn't the same players coming back. It's a lot of new faces. They got transfers left and right. Florida transfer Emory Jones at quarterback. They've got another guy that I know has been competing, and you might see two different guys in week 1. I'm not sure. But Emory Jones is a big dude. He's athletic. They want their quarterback to run the football. So they're going to have athleticism back there. Then they've got 3 receivers that were all transfers. D. Wiggins from Miami. He's going to be the guy on the outside, the speed guy on the outside. Donovan Ollie from Washington State and Xavier Henderson from Florida are guys that are going to attack more the middle of the field and things like that. But again, they all come in. They return 2 running backs. Satterfield's teams have always run the ball well. Even at Louisville in their ugliest of times, they were still second in the ACC in rushing. So he's got a running game. They got 4 new offensive linemen as well that came in this year. Outside of the center, I believe all other 4 spots are transfers, new guys filling in those spots there as well. So again, I come back to this. Cincinnati, yes, they're now a Big 12 school. Yes, they've had a great run these last several years, but there is change in Cincinnati, both with coaches and player personnel. I know you're not intimidated by going up against Cincinnati, and that I don't mean that in a negative way for Cincinnati, but I know that's not, you're not going to go in and go, we're scared of them. Yeah. Do you, when you're looking at these guys on tape, though, do you see on the tape that they are bigger, faster, stronger than some of the other people you're going to see?
I don't know. It depends how you view competition. I don't think anybody's bigger, faster, and stronger than I am. So I don't know. It's hard, but yeah, you see on film that they're big guys. They move well. I'm honestly excited that I get the best matchup. That the guy that's the returner or the All-American is at the spot I'm going up against. So that makes me excited. You can definitely tell on film when guys are big, guys are fast, and what guys are good at.
Yeah.
But it's nothing to intimidate you. It's something you need to know, and it's something you need to study more. Like, you want to know what they're good at. You want to know why they make their money off of these plays, why they're successful in this. So it's less intimidation, more scouting or scanning.
Yeah. And what makes modern day college football, I think, beneficial for you and your teammates is that you've played with guys who have played with these guys in a sense, right? I mean, last year you had a guy on the defensive line that was at LSU. You had a guy on the offensive line that was at Tennessee. You've had guys in the locker room that have been SEC schools, Big 12 schools, Big 10 schools, ACC schools. This year, you've got a wide receiver that comes over that's seen and been there. Those guys are your teammates now. So it's not like you're facing guys that you haven't seen that level of talent before. There's always maybe one guy that'll be like, he's going to be a top 1 or 2 round pick in the NFL. Those guys are going to always be freaks wherever they are. But overall, you're in the locker room with guys who have seen these guys. You're at that level as well. So I mean, it's different. I don't know. Maybe not, but I would guess that even back when your dad was in school, I mean, the level would be different had they played a Big 12 opponent versus what EKU's playing a Big 12 opponent this year. It's a little bit more equal, I guess, in modern day football because of the transfer portal and those kinds of things. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, that makes perfectly sense. Yeah, you can get high profile players out of the transfer portal now. You can get anybody can transfer to any school. So it's great having guys that have been at those big schools so they can, they'll enlighten you about those big schools. People that transfer love telling you all the stuff about their old school. But that's whatever. Yeah. It's great having guys that have experience playing high-level competition each day. So, like, when the standard isn't met to that level of competition, you can tell those guys either get annoyed or they get better, like, from that same competition.
Yeah.
Yeah,
definitely. And not only are you playing with guys who have been in some of these schools, but the program is also has guys who go and play at these programs. It comes to mind, Jaden Higgins off the top of my head comes to mind, where this year he'll be at Iowa State. We saw Davion go to Memphis. We saw some different players go. So it just continues to prove that your roster is able to compete with Cincinnati's roster, because at the end of the day, there's not that much difference between the two. I'm sure there are some minor things, but at the end of the day, unless you're talking about Georgia, where everyone's going to the NFL when the season's done, right, it's a lot closer nowadays than it used to be. The defense for Cincinnati, I know you won't go head-to-head against the defense. They were very good last year. They were the best in their conference last year, which they're changing conferences this year. But and they bring back a lot of guys. They're going to be a pretty stout defense. I think they held opponents to under 20 points a game last year as well. So a lot of things going on. So when you're going in now, what's priority one for the defensive line or the defense as a whole for EKU going into this game?
Stop the run. Of course, it's stop the run. They're known for running the ball, and we're unfortunately known for giving up a bunch of rushing yards. So we would like to nip that theory in the bud this year. Or at least
here's how I would approach it, and you can take it or leave it. Matthew Jackson's defense gave up a lot of rushing yards, but your defense did not. Right. Your defense is this year. So so you guys get a clean slate. You got rid of the weak link, and now you guys are – no, I'm kidding, of course. But now you guys get an opportunity to go out and show what you have this year. I mean, I know everybody's amped. What's the mindset from the coaching staff, from Coach Wells? How does he handle week one? How does he handle a big opponent? Is he the exact same guy? Does he give incredibly motivational speeches, or what's the mindset, I guess, behind that?
I would say Coach Wells has has his thoughts on how we should approach this game. We got to be tough. We got to be physical. We got to play fast and play excited. And that's an overall team thing.
Right.
We got to play our game. We got to take them to the deep end of the pool and drown them there. We got to win the line of scrimmage. We got to do a lot of things as a group, and we got to compete. Don't compare. We don't need to compare ourselves to last year's defense. We don't need to compare ourselves even to Cincinnati. We just need to keep competing every day, and we keep working, keep competing. We should be able to play with anybody.
I agree. Has there been any talk about, not on the gambling side of things, but any talk about the line, what the outside expectation is for the team?
What do you mean?
So the line, the betting line would be Cincinnati's favored by so many points, or whatever it may be. I don't even think they've come out with that yet. But I didn't know if there'd been any talk about any bulletin board material for you guys feeling disrespected, getting a chip on your shoulder, or anything like that.
Any interview, any podcast, any talk show any of us have been on has talked about how Cincinnati should beat us. The only people that don't care about that statement are the guys in that room. And that's the coaching staff, that's the rest of the staff, that's the players. We don't care about any of that. We're going to Cincinnati on Saturday to play. Yeah. And we're going to compete the best we can. Win, lose, draw, we're going to compete, but mostly we're going there to win. There's a reason why you play the game, right? You're not going there to get your butts kicked. You're going there to play and do your job and show everybody that doubts that they're wrong. And also build off of this game. This game is going to determine a lot about your guys' season. If you guys come out and play hard, and again, I know you don't want to hear it this way, but you play hard no matter the end result. If you guys go out there and put it all out there, then you guys know what it's going to prove a lot about the guy next to you. You guys are going to be able to trust each other better. And no matter how the game ends, it's going to prove a lot about the locker room, I think, this week, which can really help you guys moving forward in the season. I mean, you've seen this in past seasons. You guys come out and play hard week one. Last year, you didn't have your coach, and you guys came out, played hard, almost won that game. And I'm guessing at the very least, it made you guys closer, and it helped you guys to move forward. Games like that where you give it your all and you fall just short, it does make you closer because you don't want to fall just short again. Yeah, you want to do everything you can for the guy next to you to make sure that I never want to see my teammates sad. I never want to see my teammates mad. I want to see us all having fun. Yeah. I want to see us all living it up, and I hope that's what we're doing Saturday night. But those games do make you lock in and hone in as a team because you're like, man, we're not good enough. It'll never just be good enough. We can keep getting better. We can keep doing more. Yeah. And that's what I think has about any type of adversity we face this season. Now, what's the plan? Game ends in Cincinnati. You win. You're not going to go celebrate in Cincinnati, are you? You're going to drive home and celebrate in Richmond? What's the plan? You don't know? That's up to coach. I mean, it's up to coach and I think the Mr. Roan. I think those two for that. I'll celebrate wherever they tell me I can celebrate. It's safer to celebrate in Richmond. The police like you a little bit more. There's just everything's a little bit more friendly. But I'm sure it'll be a controlled celebration nonetheless. Right. I don't mean to assume that anyone's going to get in trouble. I need to be careful about that. But I'm not going to predict the game live here. I'm going to write an article later this week. Put it out on I write for bellyupsports.com. I'll put out a game preview. The plan is, I think, Thursday to get that out, and I'll put my prediction in there. That way, if Ryan doesn't like it, he can't yell at me until after the game next week. But man, I'm so excited. It's going to be a lot of fun for you guys. I know the fans are excited. I know I've seen several of the parents commenting about the game this weekend and looking forward to it. Everybody we've talked to throughout the summer, going through the position previews and things like that, everybody's pumped and ready for it. And it's a huge opportunity for you guys to go out and show what you can do and put the UAC on notice by what you guys do to Cincinnati this weekend. So we're looking forward to it for sure. You have a pregame meal on the road? Is it different than your pregame meal at home? Most of our pregame meals we usually get like a smorgasbord of stuff. Seems like we get some type of steak, pasta, wings, salads. Nobody get jealous. This is every time. But it's a pretty good pregame meal, I would say.
Yeah. Yeah. I am a little jealous. I'm not going to lie, but nonetheless, it's okay. I've talked with some UK fans that tailgate every year. They're telling me, hey, come over. You can grab a steak. You can grab this. I was like, well, you bet I'm going to.
Right, of course.
I'm not going to stick around too long, but I'll be around long enough to grab some of that.
They can expect me not to pull up.
That's right. Oh man, this is fun. Week 1, Saturday, 3:30 kickoff. If I have that, I think that's correct. 3:30 kickoff. It's either 3 or 3:30, but I'm pretty sure it's 3:30. Kickoff at Cincinnati, just up the road. I was actually there yesterday. Yeah, yesterday Sunday, right? My son was up at my parents' house in north of Dayton, and so we met halfway. And I thought, man, I'm going to be here on Saturday, hopefully. So it's going to be a good time. Good time. Matt Jones. Not Matt Jones. I don't like Matt Jones. Matt Jackson. I've never met Matt Jones. I'm sure he's a nice guy. Matthew Jackson. We want to thank him for coming on. And we are rooting for him. It's a big day for him tomorrow. Roster cut downs. Only 53 guys make the team. Matt has put in a lot of work. And even if he doesn't make the original 53, that doesn't mean his career is over by any stretch of the imagination. Lots of opportunities there too. So we'll be keeping an eye on that, and wishing good luck to Matthew Jackson. You guys got a whole week ahead. What's the practice schedule like now? Is it changing with the game being on Saturday?
It won't change this week. It'll probably change more next week, since we didn't have a game last week. So yeah. We're still in our normal practice schedule. We'll still hit up a little bit, but we do have our scouts built in to where we do get a good look at Cincinnati. So
good. All right. Well, very good. Yeah, next week will be nice. You'll actually have this year's game film to look at for your opponent, which will be a lot nicer than trying to guess what in the world Satterfield's doing up there in Cincinnati. So that'll be good too. Big game coming this weekend. Hopefully, if you're an EKU fan, you can come up to Cincinnati, be a part of the game. You can get your tickets through Raymond White if you want to. At EKU, he can take care of getting your tickets there. Of course, you can get them at the stadium or online or different places too. But show up, show out, be loud and proud. Way I understand it, Cincinnati fans are wearing white, so we might as well wear maroon and make sure we stand out a little bit in the crowd there. What uniforms are you guys wearing?
We actually haven't came up with that yet.
What?
I know y'all saw our white jerseys for Saturday. Obviously, we're not going to wear those, but I don't know the color combo we're going with just yet. We still got to make that decision. Okay, well, I was hoping to break some news here, but no, not tonight. That's okay. Uniform will be out soon. You like the new stuff? They feel good. I do like all the Nike stuff. It's just nice, new, fresh stuff, and it's cool to have. It's just nice to put on new type of jerseys, not the same jerseys we had. Well, what kind of shoes did you wear in high school? I was in Nike school. Okay. So yeah, I talked to a couple different guys on the team, just chatting with them, and asked them, hey, you liking the shoes? Is it different? I talked to Michael Moreno about this in basketball too. And most of the guys I've talked to said, yeah, I wore Nike in high school, so I'm kind of excited to get back to it. But hey, the best thing about Nike, everything's fit to size, but it's fit to size. So if you're not a 2X, do not get a 2X. And that's are you saying that to Peyton Collins? Who are you saying that to? Whoever needs to hear that. True to size, don't forget it. All right, hey man, you've got press conference tomorrow. You'll be out, so that they think that video would drop on social media tomorrow afternoon. You got you, Peyton, and Coach Wells will be chatting there tomorrow, getting everybody ready for the weekend. A lot of stuff, I'm sure. Rick's and EK, you'll be putting out a lot of just different things throughout the week, getting us ready for the game. So we're there. Congratulations, you survived it. Can't wait. Can't wait to get it started. All right. Big thanks to Matt Jackson. And again, good luck to him. Thank you for coming on and spending time with us today. Thanks as always to Ryan for joining us, to Rickson actually Rickson didn't do anything for us this week. So no thank you to Rickson. Thanks to Rickson though. He's always a big help in getting stuff lined up and things like that. Next week, we'll be recapping Cincinnati and previewing Kentucky and chatting with the guests next week as well.
Make sure you follow us on social media at Sports Stove. Thanks to our sponsors. We didn't get a lot of plug-in for them today, but IPM Pest and Termite, Mad Mushroom Pizza, and All Around Roofing as well. Thank you for tuning in to today's edition of the Sports Stove Local Hour. Until next time, Victory Monday, we'll see you around the Sports Stove.